hello, hello. We are 21 weeks. I am so excited to be doing this practice with you week by week. It makes me feel so good. It's such a great way to connect to our baby and to make some room for this growing belly that we have in our changing body. So let's just close down the eyes, find a comfortable seat, sit up nice and tall. Hands can rest wherever they feel most natural. We're going to check in with our breath. Just observing where it is today. Where it is in the body. If it's low, deep in the belly. Or if it's a little bit higher up in the chest. Placing one hand over your heart and one hand on that baby belly. Visualizing your baby. Inhaling as you inhale. And exhaling as you exhale. You are the lifeline for that growing, precious child inside of you. So knowing that everything we do, everything we say, hear, react to, the baby feels it as well. And knowing that we can always come back to this space of calm whenever we need to throughout the day, just by tuning in and connecting with the breath. Let's take a nice deep inhale together through the nostrils. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale together. Exhale, sigh it out. One more deep inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful. Blink open the eyes. Bring your hands to heart center, and then we're going to reach them all the way up, overhead, looking up at those hands, and slowly float the fingertips down to the earth. We're just going to switch the cross of your legs. If your legs are crossed, reaching that other leg in front just to feel a little more out of our true comfort zone here. Getting a little deeper stretch into one side of the hip. Inhale, left arm sweeps up and over. Bending, maybe even all the way down to that elbow, bending the elbow into the forearm a little bit. Whatever feels comfortable. One more deep inhale breath. And then on our exhale, we're going to take it up and over to the other side. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Looking up at that opposite hand. Keeping that shoulder and chest rotated open to the ceiling. One more deep inhale breath. Exhale brings us right back to center. Now we're going to take our left hand, place it on our knee, gentle twist. Deep twists are not advised as we get further along in our pregnancy, but it is good to rotate that spine and work those back muscles just a little bit. Coming back through center. Right hand finds the left knee, gentle twist, sit up nice and tall, feeling a little bit of a stretch through that lower and middle back. Inhale, exhale, release. Beautiful. Let's extend both legs out to the corners of our mat. Find those sits bones right on the earth again, so maybe you move the fleshy part of your hips, your glutes, out to the side so we can really feel grounded through the earth. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the spine, really supporting that baby, hugging the baby in, flexing the toes, and then pointing the toes. So we're just gonna start from toes and work up to up the whole chain. Flex and point, flex and point. Now we're going to take those in circles. So circles wide to the outside, rotating those ankles. and then reverse that direction. Rotating the right ankles the other way. Sometimes we get swollen or just our legs and ankles, feet feel heavy during pregnancy, so we want to give those some attention every now and then. And when you're ready, come back to stillness. We're going to inhale nice and tall, sweep both arms up, look up at those hands coming together, and then we're going to hinge forward. So, keeping a nice long spine. We don't want to round just yet. We'll be able to round in a second. But keeping a nice long spine and the chest reaching forward. So we're really targeting those inner thighs, those hamstrings, especially if you keep the toes flexed. So if you keep the feet flexed and the toes pointing back toward the shins, you'll get a nice deep back of the leg stretch here. Lengthening through the back muscles. Feel free, the longer you're here, we might open up a little bit. You could come down to your elbows. Still keeping a nice long spine. If you've got a prop nearby, like a pillow or a bolster or even a couch cushion is a really good support, especially with pregnant bellies. You can place that right here, right in front of your chest. And then we're gonna go ahead and just relax over. So feeling free to round. If you're here and you're rounding, that's great. As long as you're feeling that stretch through the backs of the legs. We're meeting our body where it is. No judgment, only good nourishment here. Stretching deeply and feeling good during the stretch and of course after. A few more breaths here. Relax the head, neck, and shoulders, let them hang. And when you're ready, come back up. Nice tall spine. We're gonna bend that left leg in. Right leg stays straight. We're gonna turn our shoulders toward that right foot. And then exhale, hinge at the hips. So we're hinging at the hips. Again, keeping that nice straight spine to start. Lengthening through the lower back. Keeping that foot flexed if that feels okay for you. Couple more breaths here. The bigger we get with our bellies, the harder it is to fold forward. So we're gonna get those forward folds in now. One deep inhale breath, and on your next exhale, rounding forward. So just round the spine, let it all go, just hang, let gravity help you. Stretch here, releasing the head, neck, and shoulders. One more deep breath. And on your exhale, coming back up through center, we're gonna extend that left leg and bend the right leg in. Sit up nice and tall. Turn the shoulders toward that left foot, and then we hinge. So walking the hands out as far as feels comfortable, as far as you can, keeping your back relatively straight before we collapse over the leg. And feel free to bring that cushion or pillow right underneath of you so you can feel nice and supported as we stretch the leg. Keeping the foot flexed if that's available, if that feels good to you. One more deep inhale. And And on your exhale, relaxing over that straight leg. So releasing the head, neck, and shoulders. And just scanning the body for any tension or tightness that you may be holding on to. Try to actively release. One more deep inhale breath. Exhale, brings us up, back through center. We're gonna keep that right knee bent, keep the left leg straight, and plant the right hand as we sweep the left arm up, reaching long overhead with that left arm, looking at the left hand, and then swinging back down. We're gonna reach to that opposite foot. We're gonna take that with our breath. So inhale, lifting up onto the knee. Exhale, reach for that left foot. And take it 2 more times. Inhale, stretching through the belly, stretching through the side body. Exhale, last time. Inhale, and exhale. Beautiful. Coming through center, switching through the legs. Left leg bends, right leg straightens. Plant the left hand on the outside of that knee. Then we sweep the right arm up as we lift the hips off the floor, coming up to that left knee. Inhale. Come back to the seat. Exhale, left hand reaches to right foot. Inhale. Exhale, sweep. Inhale. Exhale, sweep. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Sweep. Beautiful. All right, bringing that right knee in and underneath of us, we're gonna turn over to a tabletop position. Hands right under shoulders, knees right under hips. We're gonna tuck the toes, press through the fingertips, lift the knees and hover. For 3, 2, exhale, bring the hips up to the ceiling, downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal it out. My socks need to come off. Then we're gonna inhale as we roll forward. So we're gonna create a little wave, starting with the hips, rise up onto the toes, roll it forward, spinal wave all the way into a plank position, rocking forward, back, bend the knees, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Paddle it out. We're gonna take that wave again, rising up onto the toes, roll it forward, rock it forward, bend the knees, hips back, downward facing dog. One last time. Rising up onto the toes, roll it forward, plank, bend the knees, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's drop the knees, bring them wide, and we're gonna take a child's pose, melting our chest to the floor, arms long, release the belly, the chest, the head to the mat. You can turn your head to the side and rest on the side of your head, your ear. Connecting back to that breath. Deep belly breathing. One more breath cycle here. And on your next exhale, coming back up to our tabletop position. Knees right under hips, hands right under shoulders. Inhale, we're gonna sweep the left arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle through underneath the right arm. Extend that right arm forward if that's available. Keeping the hips high. Just getting a nice deep shoulder stretch, a little twist through the upper body. One more deep inhale. And on your exhale, plant your right hand. Sweep that left arm up to the ceiling, just the way we came in. Exhale, release. Inhale, right arm sweeps up. And sweeps under, threading the needle. Coming down to your shoulder, to your ear. Extend the left arm straight forward. Gentle twist. One more deep inhale. Exhale, plant the left hand. Inhale, sweep right arm up. Exhale, release. Let's wag that tail, shake those hips out. Then we're gonna walk the hands forward, keep the knees where they are, melt the chest to the floor. So we're taking a little puppy dog pose. Feel free to let your forehead rest on the floor, or if you'd like a little bit deeper into the shoulders, maybe you can get your chin to the floor. Little back bend here, little shoulder opener. Do what's available to you, don't push it. One more deep breath. And then coming up onto our elbows, we're just gonna rock forward into a modified plank position and back. Forward, just tucking the pelvis slightly, coming into that modified plank and back. Working through that lower core, that pelvic floor, extending the hips forward and back. A few more here. Exhaling forward. Inhale back. You should feel those lower abdominals start to turn on as you push the hips forward. Elbows are right under the shoulders. Beautiful. One more. Extend the hips back and bring them forward. And we hold for 3, 2, and rest. Beautiful. We're gonna come down onto our side, our left side, extending the left arm straight out so your head can sit on it. We're gonna catch that right foot or ankle or shin, whatever's available to you, and a nice deep quad stretch here. So pulling that knee slightly behind the other leg so it's not perfectly stacked on top or just kind of hanging out on top. We're actively pulling it back a little bit behind the other leg. Feeling a deep stretch through the quad. Nice hip opener. One more deep breath cycle. Full inhale. And on your exhale, maybe give it a little bit more of a pull toward the back, toward your glute, and then release. Beautiful. We're gonna take a little bit of a stretch for the hip, so place your right foot in front of that other leg, and feel free to press against the leg, or maybe even hug it in. See where there's any tension. Just kind of play with that movement. Open. It's okay if the foot pops off of the floor, or then hug it in toward you. Maybe even take a little rotation. Giving that glute, that outer glute and hip on the top leg some love. Then we're going to extend that top leg up to the ceiling, catching behind the calf or the ankle, wherever you can catch. Maybe you're here, that's okay. And then we're going to try to keep that foot flexed. Maybe you catch the toe. And we're just going to hold another deep hamstring stretch here. Breathing deeply. One more deep inhale. And slowly, gently release. You can just turn over or flip all the way around on your mat like I'm gonna do. We're gonna come to that other side. Bottom arm extends long. Bottom leg extends long, and then we're gonna catch that top ankle, foot, or shin. Pull it back slightly behind the body. And breathe. Connect to that belly breathing. Beautiful. 2 more breath cycles here. When you're ready, your last exhale, we're going to slightly pull in that ankle, pull it a little closer to the heel if you can, and then release. Beautiful. Let's bring that left foot across the body, in front of the body, and just play with that forward-backward movement, opening the knee or hugging it closer. See what feels best in your body today. Maybe your glutes are tight, maybe your lower back is tight, hamstrings. These are all very common areas, especially when we're gaining weight through that belly so rapidly as we are, and our center of gravity changes. Maybe you even take a little rotation, opening that other shoulder to the floor. All right, when you're ready, coming back to a seated position, we're gonna do fire log pose. So facing the long edge of your mat, one shin stacked on bottom, one shin stacked on top. We're gonna give some love to those outer glute muscles. Sit up nice and tall. Both sits bones on the earth if you can. Inhale, both arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then we're gonna walk those hands forward as much as feels comfortable, keeping a nice long spine, keeping grounded through the sits bones. The longer we relax into a pose, the more those muscles should open up and lengthen. So every couple of breaths or so, see if you can get a little bit closer to the floor. Let gravity help you. Try to release any tension you're feeling anywhere through the hips or lower back. One more deep inhale. Exhale, walk those hands back, and then we're just gonna switch legs. Shins stacked, both sits bones on the earth. Sit up nice and tall. Let's sweep those arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, coming down through heart center, and then we walk those hands up. Focusing on the breath. Every breath that we take goes to the baby. So take those nice deep breaths. One more deep inhale. Deep exhale brings us back up through center. And you feel free to unwind your legs, coming into a comfortable seat just the way we began. We're gonna close down the eyes. Hands can rest on your knees or in your laps. Palms face up to receive anything you're needing from the universe today. Or palms face down to preserve your energy. Closing our practice with a sense of gratitude for our body that is capable and strong and intuitive and knows exactly what to do and what we need every single day to function optimally. For your baby, that growing, precious human inside of you, that will be the source of so much joy and love. And for yourself, that you took the time out of your day and your busy week to do this form of self-care for mind, body, and spirit. I hope to see you next week, 22 weeks. Namaste.